Hello guys and welcome to the F1 Elite League for Division 1. This is round 10 of season 2 and this time we are in Spa in Belgium and this track does have quite a few tricky corners, so it is going to be a challenge to the drivers, obviously one of them being a Rouge, but we have got such a great lineup of drivers for today. I'm sure it's going to be really enjoyable for you guys to watch. So obviously we'll start with short qualifying, which is 18 minutes long, and we will see who comes out on top through those 18 minutes. Probably enough time to get around 3 or 4 push laps in. So definitely a few little rooms of error on the first few laps that they put in, but you don't want to make too big of an error because if you go out on that first lap, then you're probably going to be at the back of the grid with no time set. So you don't want to push too hard on the first couple of laps, but you want to make sure you just get through the qualifying. So it does look like it's going to be a dry qualifying, which is rather nice. This track in the wet is not the nicest, especially with a Rouge, as you turn a little bit too sharply on that corner and you will meet the barrier, which isn't what any of the drivers here want to do. So we do have 18 drivers for today, which is a huge number of drivers, which I'm really pleased to see. Nearly a full grid, just 2 off, but sometimes you can never get a full grid, which is fine. I mean, 18 drivers is a lot, but we'll wait for the first person to come out, and I believe that is, looks like Bullet. So we'll stay on board with Bullet in the Alfa Romeo for his hot lap, and I will get up the important information that we all want to see. So we'll stay on board with Bullet during his out lap, and as he is the first one out, we will also stay on board with him um, for his hot lap. Couldn't get my words out then. So obviously I think Sandman must have had a quali ban or something to retire. I don't think he even came out of the pit, so maybe just a quali ban, which meant he had to retire. I believe just behind Sandman is, not Sandman, Bullet is Jim in the Haas. So if Bullet for whatever reason invalidates his lap, we will move up and have a look at the Haas driver of Jim and see how he is getting on in this qualifying session on his first lap. But obviously on that first lap, you want to take it a little bit easy. You shouldn't really invalidate your first lap too often. I don't want to say it because I also do it, but I'm not as good as these guys. These drivers are very, very good. But we'll see what Bullet can produce going into his first hot lap. So we'll just wait for him to get to the finish line. It takes a little bit of grass there, just cool, making the tyres nice and warm on the grass. That's not how it works. Anyway, going into the bus stop chicane now, and he'll be starting his hot lap in just a second, and I will run you through. I'll just commentate on his hot lap. That's what I'm here to do. So anyway, the Alfa Romeo going through La Source right now are taking it decently slow. You can maybe carry a little bit more speed, as you see on the exit there. You probably could have gone a little bit wider, but then, like I said, taking his time. So now through turn 3, 4, and 5, which is known as a Rouge, and into Radillon, and he's lost the back end, which is so many drivers are going to do today, I believe, as it is so difficult. But he doesn't want to get in the way of Jim there. So that's already one driver being wiped out by that horrible corner. So we'll now go on board with Jim. He's invalidated his lap. That ain't what we wanted. Oh, who do we go on board with? Who do we go on board with? Henk. We'll go on board with Henk, who has just got through a Rouge and is now coming down the Camel straight into Les Combes. Yes, turn 7, 8, and 9. So through Les Combes now, and we'll see what time he can set. He is starting on the soft tyres. I know a few drivers here do like to switch it up a little bit and go for the medium tyre. Obviously it might give you a bigger advantage in the race. As coming out with turn 11 there, Henk does go quite wide. So we'll see how he does through Pouhon, which is turn 12, as he also goes wide there. So he's going wide quite a lot, but I don't think it's a significant amount to invalidate the lap. So he must be letting off the throttle a little bit. But obviously your first lap does not matter too much. You just want to get a decent time down and work from it from there, as he does just set the fastest sector 2, but I don't know if he's the closest driver. I think we have got another driver there somewhere, and I'm gonna be watching Hank. Yeah, there we go. I was watching the Williams with Shea there. That was the wrong one. So anyway, Hank now coming over to finish his lap through the bus stop chicane. What time is he gonna put down? It's looking to be around a 1:45, I want to say. No, I'm really off. So 1:46.8 is currently on provisional pole. I can promise you that'll most likely change as Henk does lose it through turn 1. And there we go, as I say, Pot Row in the Red Bull, lovely Red Bull livery that is, just takes provisional pole now with a 1:46.3. And as I say that, the Williams of Shea comes over the line to take a 1:44.5, which is now him sound provisional pole. So we'll go on board with T-Bran, as I know he is a very quick driver. Let me quickly get up the points, because I believe he is sat in second. Yes, he is. So T-Bran currently sat in second in the championship. He is 17 points off of P1, who is Pova. He is the one in the McLaren, still sat in the pits for now. Maybe just deciding that he wants to save a few sets of those soft tyres for later on in the race. Happy comes over the line to set a 1:45 flat, whereas T-Bran going to set a 2:02.2. I believe he has taken an extra lap to warm up his tyres, as 15 seconds off the pace. That would be quite surprising, as we didn't really see any errors from him. So we'll stay on board with him now as he comes through Arouge and Radillon. Oh my god. As I believe he was just warming up his tyres, so we'll see what he can do on this lap. So down the Kemmel Straight now, and Jim Racing is just set at a 1:45.5. So looking good for him in the Haas so far. And that's a spin for an AlphaTauri. I believe it might be F1 Mason. Yes, it is. But we'll go back on board with the Alpine driver of T-Bran, as he didn't look to be improving on his time during Sector 1. But we'll see. Maybe he made a mistake going through here, and we'll gain a lot more time. So through turn 12 now. Very easy to lose the back end on here. It's a long left-hander, and got to be careful on that throttle, else, and obviously the curbs as well, as he does have a Ferrari sat right in front of him, which to me I'd find it a little bit off-putting, but the Ferrari now gets out of the way. But obviously the Ferrari can get out of the way too quickly, as T-Bran now sets fast Sector 2 and he is 16 seconds up on his time, so this is the time we were expecting from him. So this is going to be looking like a rather quick time. I'd imagine he will be aiming for top 3 in qualifying here today. So we'll see where this lap puts him, going through the bus stop chicane now. Just got to keep it nice and tidy through these last 2 corners. It's a right and then a left, and it comes over the line to be a 1:45.4, so it's enough for P3 at the moment, but I'm sure that will all change with 10 minutes to go of this session. So we're now on board with the McLaren as he just comes to finish his hot lap. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 1:48 flat. Obviously he is starting on the medium compound, so that might give him a bigger race advantage, but if he's going to be pushed outside of that top 10, those medium tyres, you're just going to be able to start on a fresh set anyway. So we're now on board with F1 Mason as he just starts his hot lap, I believe. He did have a McLaren there slightly in the way, but I'm not really too sure what the McLaren could have done. I believe it might have been Pova. Where is Pova on the track? I am not too sure. He's just coming into the bus stop chicane. So we'll go on board with our championship leader for the hot lap that he is about to put down, and see where he is among these other drivers, as I believe we missed that. Simple in the Aston Martin has just set a 1:46 point. I've lost it. No, he set a 1:45.7. He's just gone even quicker. So good job to him in the Aston Martin. He's only got 3 more attempts to gain to be moved up into that top 3 spot, depending on what time Pova now sets in this McLaren. So he is out on the soft compound tyres, so I imagine he'll be aiming for pole. So we'll see what he can do. So going through Sector 1, it is not fast Sector 1, but obviously you don't win You don't have the fastest lap just from Sector 1, so there might be a lot of time to gain on Shea in Sector 2 and 3, as that is a Williams getting out the way there. I believe it might be that actually is Shea, who is currently on provisional pole as it stands. So Pova now heading into Pujon. Again, keeping it very tidy on the back end. So it's looking like a decent lap so far. And now going through, oh no, I've lost the turns. Turn 15, heading into turn 15. It's a long double right, as he does set fancy sector 2. So it's looking good so far from the McLaren driver, or Pova, as he now comes along. Blanc-Simont, as it is pronounced, I believe. I'm actually quite pleased with that pronunciation. My French isn't French. It's Belgium. Oh no, I don't know what they speak, but they speak. But you know what? We ain't gonna bring languages into this. Pova decides, no, maybe he feels like he's quick enough to go onto those medium tires, so he aborts his lap. That probably would have been a very quick lap, I would imagine. Probably it would have been in the 144s. But Neil, as I speak, Neil in the Haas has just gone P2. I missed that completely, and he is only 1.5 tenths off P1. So if he can find that little bit extra time, he's also on those medium tyres, as that back end is being flung around everywhere. So he's also on those medium tyres, so that's very interesting strategy-wise from Neil. So he's looking very strong today in Spa. So currently Neil is sat in P14 in the championship, and I'm sure he'll be looking to move up a few places after today's race. But anyway, we'll go on board with somebody who's actually doing a hot lap, because nobody wants to watch somebody on their out lap. So who's improving? Potro in the Red Bull. He is improving. He is, no he's not, he's lied to me. Just said he was up by 1/10. Oh, he's in bad dead anyway, don't matter. But Moti or Moti, I don't know. It's one of the two. In the Ferrari now, currently, is he any quicker than his previous time? Or is this is a cooldown lap, I believe. Yes. So, who to go on board with? It says Bullet is 12 seconds up on his time. I believe that is correct, because he is set at 2:01. So we'll stay on board with Bullet, who we watched go out first, and be the first one to experience the horrible Eau Rouge and how easy it is to lose it on that corner. So let's hope you learn from your mistakes, Bullet, and do not do the same thing again. So we'll stay on board with him on his hot lap, as he's already gone through a Rouge. I thought he was on his out lap. Anyway, he's looking good so far in Sector 2. We'll see how much he is up on his time, as this time he did survive a Rouge, because, well, he's in Sector 2 now, so he must have done. So let's see how much he is up on his time. 12.2, that is currently enough to, oh, that is going to be close. It looks like it's going to be a close battle for moving up one position against Diego in the Red Bull, who is currently out on another lap, I believe. So we'll see if Bullet can improve and move up one position into P13, going through the bus stop chicane now. What's it going to be? Not quite hitting the apex on turn 19, but oh, there's an AlphaTauri in the wall. I wonder who that is. I think it might be F1 Mason. You're on no, it's not you. It must be Happy. Yes, it was Happy. Happy found the wall. But anyway, Bullet does move up into P13, so good job from him moving up position. But now, who to watch? We got 3 drivers who have not set a time yet, and I'm sure they're gonna set some decent times down. So we'll have a look if anybody is crossing the line. Looks like nobody is improving on their time. Happy, what are you doing? Are you improving on your time or not? We're about to find out as he goes through Sector 2. Well, wait, Sector 2 must be huge. Yeah, it's actually quite big. As, Henk, was that? Henk? You're in the wall. I think he might have been in the wall at turn 10 at Bruxelles. So, not good from him. Happy goes wide and invalidate. So we're going to go on board with Pova, who is about to start his hot lap. And as I thought, he has gone on to those medium tires because he must believe that he has got a lot of pace on those softs. So why not chuck on a fresh set of mediums and get up into that top spot on those medium tires, because that would greatly help you in the race. So let's see what this McLaren driver can do for us now as he goes through turn 3 and then turn 4 and now turn 5, looking very good, keeping the back end very stable. So much confidence going through a Rouge there. Now on the Kemmel straight, just want to pop the DRS open and absolutely fly down the straight. You don't want to miss your braking point for the comms though. So now going through turn 7, 8 and then coming up to 9, so it's looking good so far. So I wonder what time this is going to put on the board for him. But also we do have other drivers on out lap. So Shea is on an out lap on soft tires, so maybe he's looking to improve on his time. But now Pova coming into turn 12, looking very good on the back end, no wobble at all, so it must be quite stable for him. Now coming through, what is it, Campus, it's called Campus, turn 13 and 14, and then turn 15 and 16, obviously the double left-hander, who he does actually just set fast sector 2 on the medium tyres, so that is something itself, showing that he has got great pace. And now he's going down Blanc-Simont. I really like this straight name, Blanc-Simont. I like that name, that's a good name. But anyway, we'll see what time Pova does set as he enters the bus stop chicane now. Turn 19, turn 20, keeping it together. What's it going to be? He crosses the line. It's going to be a 140... Wow, where'd it go? A 145.5, so not too far off P8 there. But maybe he expected a little bit better on those tyres, as he is nearly outside of the top 10, so it was nearly pointless starting on those medium tyres, but you never know. He showed great pace, and obviously getting fast sector 2, I'd imagine he'll be able to move up the order during the race, so it's going to give us something to enjoy during the race. And as I speak, F1 Mason goes into P6 just behind his teammate. No, P7, because the Williams driver has just gone into P... No, he hasn't. Hold on. Have I missed somebody? Who just... Oh, was it T-Ran? Yes, it was T-Ran that just moved up into P5, pushing Happy and F1 Mason, the two AlphaTauris, down one place. So they'll be starting on the 3rd and 4th row of the grid. So we'll just wait for a few drivers to finish their hot laps, as I believe a few of them. Neil just sets the fastest sector. Neil just sets the quickest lap overall, and that currently puts him on provisional pole. So Shea looks to be starting a brand new hot lap. So will he be able to reclaim his P1 spot, as he currently has his other Williams teammate in P2 just behind, P3 just behind him, but Shea has invalidated, which means as it stands, Neil looks like he's going to be sat on provisional pole for Spa. T-Ran doesn't look to be improving on his time. Happy and F1 Mason are both retired. Is Jim improving? I'm not too sure. We'll have to find out. There's a Williams in the wall, is that? There's cars everywhere. It looks like Jim has just invalidated, so he's not going to improve on his time. Nesh is not improving on his time. Poirot is improving on his time, but it's not by a significant amount. Moti in the Ferrari just moves into P11, which is a very nice spot because you get to start on those fresh compound tyres and be the first one on those fresh tyres. So as it stands, I believe Neil is going to be sat on provisional pole, and he's going to take it, as no other driver seems to be showing the pace to be able to retake, to take pole position, unless the Alpine driver can take it, because he hasn't set a lap yet. I'm not sure what times he's doing. Going through the bus stop chicane now, turn 19 and turn 20. What time is it going to be? Neil decides to improve on his time even more, making it even more difficult. Oh, the Alpine driver is 2 tenths. Not even 2 tenths. 1.5. Oh, somewhere around that. In between 2 tenths, 1.5 tenths. Off Neil. So Shea is moved down into P3. The man who is currently sat on provisional pole for the majority of this session is now starting in P3. So looks like the Haas driver there taking P1, and then we have the Alpine driver taking P2, Williams taking P3 and 4, and we have Simple in the Aston Martin in P5, Tibran in the Alpine in P6, and this camera angle, please tell me they don't race in this camera angle. Actually, I'm not going to judge, because if we had a race and they were in this camera angle, I'd probably still get beaten. So anyway, that is your starting order. Obviously Pova down in 10th place, but he is on those medium compound tyres, so strategy wise for this race he is looking rather nice. Maybe going on for a medium hard. I really am not too sure of the strategy for this race, so we will wait for the timer to well, get down for 15 seconds, and then we'll get into racing. But obviously first of all you got the formation lap, so we'll just wait for the drivers to sort themselves out, sort the strategies out, and then we'll be underway for round 10 of Elite Racing of Division 1. So it does look like it is going to be a dry race, and as you can see right there, you got the podium. So 3 of these drivers out of the 18 will be stood on that podium at the end of the race. Who it's going to be, I really don't know. Like, I really am unsure. There's so many quick drivers in this lineup. Anybody can take it, really. So we'll just leave it up to the race to decide who is going to be sat on that podium, as the cars looks to be bouncing up and down on the left there. I'm sure that's just a game glitch. So starting the starting the formation lap, as it shows as well for us, the predicted pit strategy. So soft, medium. Looks to be decently fast, I'd imagine. I think soft hard was definitely up there as well. I didn't actually look at it properly, but maybe medium hard might be a good strategy. I'm not too sure. It depends. I don't know really. I'm not really one to know what a good strategy is, so we'll leave it up to the drivers to tell us who's going to make their strategy work and who isn't. So anyway, I'll run you through the driver order for today in Spa with 22 laps of racing, and I promise you it'll be very, very close racing indeed. So anyway, in P1 we have Neil in the Haas car, sorry. He took it from Shea, who has moved down into P3, and in P2 we do have Alpine, who managed to take it at the end of the race there, and end of quali. He set 1 lap and it was good enough for P2, so a very good lap indeed from him, or under pressure. And then in P3 and P4 we have the 2 Williams drivers, and in P5 we have Simple in the Aston Martin, and in P6 we have the other Alpine driver, or Tibran. P7 and P8 we have the 2 Alpine drivers of Heavy and F1 Mason. P9 we have the other Haas driver of Jim Racing, and in P10 starting on those medium compound tyres is Pova, our current leader, and there you go, it shows us the predicted strategy. So I think starting on those medium tyres may have an advantage. Then we have Nesh and Moti in the Ferraris, starting P11 and P12. Obviously they get the first choice of the fresh tyres. And then Potro in that Red Bull starting on that medium compound tyre in 13th. Hank in 14th in that Alfa Romeo starting on the soft compound tyres. Bullet, who managed to move up a few places in qualifying from where he currently was. In as well. Snaggletooth in the McLaren is starting on medium tyres as well. And Diego, the other Red Bull, in P17 starting on the soft tyres. And obviously Sandman in the McLaren starting in 18th on the medium tyres. I believe he had a quali ban, so I would imagine that he's going to be able to move up a few places, as I believe he is a quick driver. I don't actually have the standings up next to me, but we'll find out during the race how many drivers he overtakes. So might be a show at the back of the race for the first few laps. But anyway, the race is not won into turn 1, so we'll see what happens going into turn 1, but I'm sure that will not decide too much unless somebody kills somebody going into turn 1, but I hope that doesn't happen. But anyway, we'll wait for the lights to go out. The camera angles we are getting are awful. We'll wait for the drivers to go. And it looks like they're gone, so it looks like the Haas driver of Neil gets a very good start. The Alpine driver doesn't look to get too good of a start. The Williams drivers have already swapped, and further back it looks like the Aston Martin driver of Simple looks to make a move. Not quite enough to make a move there. The McLaren driver of Pova has already moved up one place against the Haas driver of Jim. So going through a Rouge now, is anybody losing it? We got a few cars cutting the corner there. Obviously it might be worth taking the warning early on to get your position defended. But anyway, Heppy now under attack from his teammate F1 Mason, who backs off further back on the grid. We do have other drivers attacking and defending, but looks to all stay in the same positions. As we have a yellow one that looks like Hank has lost it somewhere. Hank, like, he has lost it through Lecombe, so he's a little bit further back than he would like to be. Doesn't look like he has got any damage though, but Sandman now gets past Snaggletooth, and also Simple. Looks like Simple has gone off somewhere. Simple's in the grass, so the Aston Martin driver losing quite a few places there as he tries to keep on to P13. Looks like he's losing it. He's just going to give the positions up. He doesn't want to get in the way of anybody. But further up the grid, we have the two Williams drivers swapping back once again. These two are battling really hard as teammates, and Potro now. Potro's lost it as well, so a lot of drivers losing it as Potro goes round, spins around, and has he lost anything of his wing? I'm not too sure. It looks like the wing still is intact. So a very eventful start here in Spa. But anyway, T-Brand looks to be right on the back of the two Williams drivers who are battling each other and ultimately only slowing each other down. So will T-Brand be able to make a move going into the bus stop chicane as the Williams driver decides to make a move? Will he be able to make it stick? The two Williams drivers could leave themselves exposed here to T-Brand, who might be able to make a move going into La Source, which is turn 1. Will he make the move? No, he will not. He'll back off. And other drivers are dropping like flies. That's the Ferrari now of Moti dropping down to P14. Bullet has found the wall. There's a wing on the track. Everything's going wrong. Pope lost the position. It's a virtual safety car. So everybody will have to slow down and we'll be able to catch our breath. That was a very eventful start. Neil being able to keep on to his P1 position at the start there, and obviously the Alpine driver also being able to keep on to his P2 position. But the two Williams drivers have formed a gap between P2 and P1 now, so they are ultimately slowing each other down. But quite a few drivers having a few little bumps there. And on those compound tyres, I'd imagine he'll be now going the next 20 races. 20 laps on those tyres as Nesh the Ferrari looks to get past Jim Racing. He goes around the outside. That is a wonderful move right there. So a really good move there. It looks like Jim Racing has gone wide and now Pova looks to capitalise on that. And Sandman, I haven't even noticed, he has moved all the way up to P18 into P11. So what a start it must have been from him, and I am gutted I missed all those moves he has made on other drivers. But now he looks to attack onto Jim Racing, as he will probably want to follow Pova through the grid as they both look to move up in this race. So we will stay on board with Sandman and see. Oh no, we'll go up to the Williams as they've swapped places once again. Now will T-Ram be able to make a move on the two Williams? or at least one of the Williams, as they've been fighting, slowing each other down. Will T-Ram be able to capitalize on that? Going into the bus stop chicane, it does not look like it, so the Williams will follow each other through. As one of the Williams decides to pit, maybe thinking about an undercut already, as pit strategies are into the race on lap 3, so very bold choice of the Williams driver, but maybe he's looking to get ahead and obviously get out of the fight between him and his teammate, and Sandman looks to make a move there on the Haas driver of GM Racing, but there isn't enough length left of the track to do so. So he's going to him through a Rouge, and Hank now is overtaken by the Williams driver. Man, but both to attack on the Kemmel straight. Will Pova be able to make the move going down the inside into turn 7 into Lecomte? He makes, and no, he decides not this time. He's going to stay behind one more lap, and or maybe he's going to get the move done later on in this lap. I'm not too sure, as he eyes up a move going into Bruce Ellis, but it doesn't. He wants to make the move, but the Haas driver has gone wide, and Sandman says no, I'm going to capitalize on that, as he does just get pushed into the wall there by the Haas driver. So luckily no bodywork damage, but looks like the Haas driver did not give much there, as Potrow picks up a 3-second penalty for cutting too many corners. I'd imagine that'll be for a Rouge. No, it wasn't, it was for someone else. But anyway, we'll stay on board with Sandman and Pova, as these two look to move their way up the field, as there are no real battles between the top 8 now, as they are all 1-second intervals. So we'll keep our eye on what Sandman can do if he can get past his Haas driver, as he looks to do it along the Blanchimont straight, as he goes around the outside of the Haas driver. No, he doesn't, he backs off. Will he be able to make the move into the bus stop chicane? Who's going to outbrake who? It looks like the Haas driver might have outbroken himself. Will Sandman now be able to make a move on this straight? Lovely switchback, I don't know if that's what it's called. But anyway, Sandman now looks to get around the outside of La Source, which is turn 1. Will he be able to make the move? He goes... Oh, they're going to be side by side for a Rouge. And or is Jim going to back out? Looks like Jim's going to back out of that one. So Sandman, after a long attack, does make the move stick. So now goes for a Rouge without having to see that Haas car behind him. So now that McLaren is going to be looking to charge on, Mercedes, sorry, is going to be looking to charge on to the back of that Ferrari, and he's already in within 1/10 of the Ferrari. And as I speak, the Alpine driver is closing in on the Haas driver of Neil. So these two are going to be having a battle shortly, I am sure of that. Anyway, we'll go back down to Sandman, who is caught up to the back of the Ferrari of super quickly, as he does get a little bit out of shape there, but it doesn't look to affect him too badly. So, and we see the Haas driver, Jim, hitting the... That's not what we want to see. But anyway, we're staying on board with Sandman, as he does to attack onto the back of Nesto. Will he be able to make a move going down the Blanchimont straight? I'm not too sure, but we'll see how he goes through the campus, right to left, and now the double right-hander. I don't know what this one's called. It's some dodgy, not dodgy, it's some horrible Belgian word I don't know how to say. But anyway, going down this straight now, will he be able to make the move? I believe he's making the move. Is he going to make it stick? The Ferrari driver is still looking to attack. Who's going to come out of this straight in front? It looks like the Sandman in the McLaren, Mercedes, I keep calling it the McLaren, I apologise for that. Going to come out in front, so he's now going to go through the bus stop chicane in P8, and now he's behind the McLaren, looking to charge on to catch up to maybe get into that DRS and charge on in this race. The Williams driver is Shea now, looking to charge on and get past that Alpine. So along the Kemmel straight, will he be able to make? I believe he's going to make the move, as he's already got past him before the braking zone. Yes, he has, as he just set past sector 1. So Shea must have put in a very quick sector 1 there, and obviously the Alpine driver could not do anything about it with the DRS advantage as well. But as I speak, the other Williams driver has moved up along the Kemmel straight as well against the Red Bull of Diego. So Sandman doesn't look to be gaining too much on Pova, as the top 8 seem to be holding their positions, but the top 3 or 4 they are closing into each other quite quickly. And obviously Shea has picked up a 3-second time penalty, I believe that is, for too many corner cuts, or exceeding track limits. But anyway, Henk looks to be trying to get past the McLaren of Snaggletooth, so we'll keep our eye on this battle as well, as I'm sure Henk will want to move up into that piece in this race. Obviously, we have a few drivers on alternative strategies, so Simple, obviously on the hard compound tyres. I imagine he will not be pitting again this race unless something drastic happens and he needs a wing change. Anyway, we will stay on board with the top four as these guys are looking to get very close now, and as I speak, Sandman is now within 1 second of the McLaren in front of him, so will he be able to also make a move? Maybe coming up to the Kemmel Straight. We'll see where he is when that time comes, but we'll focus our eyes on the battle in the top four, so he won't be able to get past Alpine. Is his teammate, the Alpine driver, who started in P2, currently in P3. Maybe he'll be moving down into P4 if his teammate can get past him. I don't think he's close enough to make the move, as there's a virtual safety car. I think that might be Snaggletooth and Henk. Henk looks like has found the wall once again, I believe that is, going into turn 1, as he looks to get the position back off the McLaren. I'm not sure, as they both get a 5-second time penalty. Hank must be quite annoyed with Snaggletooth because it doesn't look like he's got a wing, so I'm not too sure what happened between them two, but I'm sure it'll be resolved after the race. But anyway, we'll move back up and watch the virtual safety car restart, because that could change things up quite a lot if a driver does not get a good restart, or if the other driver gets a good restart and one doesn't. That could change things and make things a lot more difficult for some drivers. But also Sandman looking to be right behind Pova, so he's going to be wanting to get past that McLaren as quickly as possible, as Pova does get a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car, so that is going to change a lot of things. I'm not sure, and let me quickly get this up. It looks like quite a few people have got penalties, as I would like to find penalties. So there we go, we have 3 drivers that have got penalties: Heppy, Pova and the Williams driver. So all 3 of them have got drive-through penalties, which is going to drastically change their race, as Neil now comes into the pits and Shay now goes on to lead the race. Wait, he is in the picture. Yeah, he is in the pits. I was going to say, they won't say him. But anyway, I'm sure you got Pova and Heppy both coming into the pits now to obviously get rid of their drive-through penalties. So there you can see the bottom 4 have all stopped once, so I'm sure once pit stops come into this, they'll be back into the race. Maybe not where they'd want to be, but they'll definitely be back up there. They need a safety car. As T-Ran, as I speak, gets past his teammate in the Alpine, he sets the fastest sector 1 again, so it seems to be the ones that are setting the fastest sector 1 are getting past along the Kemmel Straight. And obviously it's such a long straight, it's just a breeze for what have I done? Oh, there we go. It's just a breeze getting past with that long DRS straight. But anyway, we will now go on board. Sandman has moved up to P5. I imagine that is from pit stops and other things. Yes, so looking like a good race from him so far. But we'll go on board with who's close to each other. All the drivers are pretty spread out right now. We got the 2 Williams drivers within 1 second of each other, but they just swap positions, so I don't really see them swapping back positions, so I don't know what to speak about, guys, really. We'll go on board with Neil, actually, because he, obviously, on fresh tyres, will hopefully be able to close down on Heppy, who is on old tyres, as obviously he did have a drive-through penalty as well, so... But unfortunate for Heppy, Pova and the Williams driver of Brakeman, who all got drive-through penalties. So we'll see now if Neil can get past Heppy, as it looks like Heppy doesn't even bother defending, and Neil now moves up into P7, but obviously due to pits he'll move up into P5, so that's F1 Mason and the, how'd you say his name? I don't know, the Alpine driver, who are both put on a new set of boots and will be coming out to maybe go to the end of the race on those tyres, as we have 14 laps left of this race. So we'll see who is closing in on one another. I don't really see any, but oh, I'd say that. Potro and F1 Mason seem to just swap position. And obviously Jim Racing has finally come into the pit lane. And Simple is out right in front of him. And that's a yellow sector one. That's Snaggletooth in the wall. I'm not sure where that has happened to. It must be a Rouge. You can see there on the right. That is Snaggletooth in the wall at a Rouge. That's our first victim of a Rouge this race. Lasted 8 laps. So that looks like it's going to be no safety car. Just a yellow sector one. So that's very interesting indeed. But anyway, we'll move back down the order and see these cars that are pitted, trying to get past the slower cars of the grid. As F1 Mason looks to try and get past Potro, and then he'll be right behind the McLaren driver of Pova. Also, we have Jim Racing put on a new set of soft tyres, so Simple might not really have too much of a chance to defend here, as we have the two leaders of the race coming into the pits, which will move Sandman up into P1. So currently Sandman is from P18 to P1, but obviously he still has to pit, but it doesn't look like those tyres are dying anytime soon, as he just sets the fastest lap of the race. So now will Jim Racing be able to get past Simple along Blanchimont? Doesn't look to be close enough to make a move. So it looks like Simple is going to defend for one more lap. But obviously we have a few drivers now pitting and stopping, which is going to make things a little bit more difficult to keep track of. But you can see there who has pitted and who has not. That's F1 Mason. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning. Oh, sorry. F1 Mason does come in to take his pit stop. And who do we on board with? We go on board with Potro. Oh no, F1 Mason already came in. No, he already came in. I'm getting tired, sorry guys. Right, so we're staying on board with Potro in the Red Bull, who is looking to attack onto Pova, but I believe he's also having a defend from F1 Mason. So two jobs at once, not a nice thing to do. But if he can make it work, he can make it work, and he can make it work well. That looks like the Alpine driver, sorry, attacking his teammate T-Bran, who's also in the Alpine, obviously, because they're teammates. So he might be able to get past along this next DRS straight, as that's a yellow sector 3, and that's Neil. It's out of the race. It looks like he's lost it on the exit. That's a safety car. That's changed things drastically. So that's our potential race winner out of the race. So like I said at the start, guys, then I did not know who's going to sit on the podium, and that's what I meant. One mistake and you are out of this race. So that's just like Neil there, just losing it on the exit of turn 16, hitting the wall, and you can see all the debris on the track right there. So it looks like a safety car. So Sandman is going to benefit hugely for this, as he comes out on fresh, soft tyres, and he's going to come out in P2. So he's happily going to be sat right now in P2 from P18, and he's pitted. He couldn't have asked for much more, and for it to be Neil out, that's one less car in front of him that's in the way. So this is going to shake things up drastically in this race with that safety car, as Simple also now moves back up into 8th after his incident at the start of the race, having to pit early. So we'll see what tyres people are deciding to go for, as it does look like medium tyres is the choice everybody is deciding on. Honestly, if I was Bullet or Hank, I would have just chucked on a new set of tyres. You wouldn't have lost any positions, and you'll be on a fresh set of tyres. But hey, personal preference, and we'll see what happens in the next 12 laps. I'd imagine it'll be 10 laps after the safety car comes in of this race, as well, the man that we thought was going to win this race is now out. So that's shocking and surprising. So my favourite right now is probably Sandman with the pace he's shown, but he is put on the soft tyres, so will those softs be able to go around 10 laps pushing and 2 laps under the safety car, so 12 laps in total. If he can make those tyres last 12 laps, I'll be incredibly impressed. But we'll see what he can do. But right now, I think I still don't know who's going to win this race. It is so close. But we'll wait for the other drivers to catch up, which is Multi and Hank and Jim's caught up now. So we'll just wait for the last 3 drivers to catch up to the safety car. And I believe we will be under racing once again. So we'll stay on board with Bullet as he races around the track to catch up to the safety car. So this is going to give him an opportunity to try and move up a few places, maybe even push into the points if he can find some pace in that Alfa Romeo. And Hank does come into pit there, so like I said, he's only going to lose 1 place, and he's going to be able to put on a brand new set of tyres, which is going to help him very nicely later on in the race, as even if those hard tyres are slightly older, he can put on some new medium tyres that can go to the end of the race, and obviously the pace advantage he has on those medium tyres could help him possibly push into the points. So we'll just wait for Bullet now to catch up. I believe the safety car will be coming in probably this lap, as Bullet would have caught up, I'd imagine, as they're just going through the comms right now, and Bullet is just going through the source, so not too far off, obviously under safety car, so it shouldn't be too long, as these two have just swapped places. Don't know what's going on here. They're already racing, it's still under safety car. So a few drivers just warming up their tyres there. I'm sure Bullet is going to have the warmest tyres of them all, because he's been the one racing around the track, like safety car's not even being out, so he might have an advantage at the safety car restart. But as you can see there, he is closing in now on the safety car. He's just got to go through Roussel's, and he should be on the back of the safety car queue just about when they enter Pouhon. And you can see there, he should find the back of the safety car just before. There we go. So now Hank has caught up to the safety car. I'd imagine safety car might be in this lap. I hope that it ain't going to be another lap, but you never know. We'll see, we'll see. And there we go, safety car is in this lap, so we're going to have 10 laps of racing left to enjoy. So we'll see if Sandman can push on to get past the Williams driver O'Shea. I imagine he will be able to on those fresh soft tyres, but we will see what happens during the race, as one little knock could change things once again. So Shea there slowing down the pack just to get that better exit on the safety car restart to give him the best chance of staying out in P1. Get a nice little helicopter shot right there. So I imagine he will decide to go as he comes out of the bus stop chicane. Sandman looks to get a very nice exit. It does look like he does touch. Is that going to give them a 5-second time penalty? I'm not sure. He wanted to go early, but obviously he could not. Sandman is going to try around the outside of Shea. Doesn't look like he's going to get the switchback done, and he's going to move up into P1. So Shea's defense did not last long, and Sandman is now on a charge to pull away, as I'm sure those tires are going to die out near the end of the race, which isn't going to be helpful for Sandman at all. But now going along. Wait, where's the rest of the drivers? I do not know what's happened. No, they're all okay. Nothing's happened. Anyway, Shea now does not make a move going into the entry of turn 7.
But it does look like Sandman is already starting to pull away. You can see the gap up to 1.1 seconds, so he's looking to charge it on during this race, and obviously making those soft tyres go to the end. So he might be favourite to win this race. And T-Brown now closing in. Also, other drivers like Heppy closing in on that Ferrari. That Ferrari's got a nice big queue behind him of Heppy, Simple, Potro, and Pova, all looking to. Oh, no, sorry, not Pova. All looking to get past. So 3 drivers, the Ferrari of Nesh has got behind him. So we'll see if Heppy or Simple or even Potro could make a move soon, as I'm sure Nesh is feeling the pressure because he's just picked up a 3-second time penalty. As what's happened here, looks like the Williams driver is trying to get past the McLaren, but it does look like Simple is defending from Potro. Potro's looking to make a move. Is he going to make the move stick? Yes, he is. He's obviously on those softer compound tire, medium tires against Simple's old hard tires, but he's made the move stick. You can see a little lock up there from Potro, but he's looking to charge on now to get past Heppy, and I'm sure Simple's just going to tag along to try and follow him through. But also he's now got the Williams driver on the fresh medium tyres looking to get past him, and behind him is Pova on those hard tyres. So a lot of drivers behind this Ferrari driver, as they've actually formed a little gap, and actually this Ferrari driver has closed the gap to F1 Mason. So the Ferrari driver is now looking to get past F1 Mason along the Camel Straight. Will he make the move stick? I believe he's going to make the move stick. F1 Mason does not go defensive. Maybe he should have, because no, he would have been. He did not want to. He would have lost a little bit too much time. But anyway, Heppy now looking to catch up to his teammate, and Nesh is looking to charge on. So what was once looking like Nesh could have lost a few places, 2 cars behind him, has now gained 1. So obviously the commentator don't know what he's on about, because I clearly don't. Because Nesh has just proven to me that he's got the pace to get past drivers, so he's now up in the P5, so good job from him so far. Obviously, Simple now dropping down another place, and he's lost a place to the Williams driver of Brakeman. He's now moved up into P9, and Sandman is off. You can't even see the cars in the background anymore. He is that far ahead. 3.5 seconds the gap. So he's looking like a possible race winner for this race. F1 Mason now, this is where the battle's at for P6, as the Ferrari driver looks to have scooted ahead a little bit, making sure a gap is formed, but DRS is now enabled. So this is where things are going to get interesting, because moves are being made along the Camel Straight and they don't even have DRS. So F1 Mason might get swarmed here along the Camel Straight, as he has not got DRS to the car in front, as the two cars behind him currently battling, so his teammates actually doing him a very nice job of keeping the cars behind him. So now it doesn't even look like Heppy is in. That's a car off. It's Williams. It's Brakeman. He's lost it on a Rouge. So that's another victim of a Rouge into the same wall of where Snaggletooth went off, and that is a virtual safety car. So all the cars are going to be slowing down. There's 8 laps left of racing, and it's still very, very close. But F1 Mason looking to hang on to his P6 spot so far. So there you go, DRS is enabled once again, and we are underway racing. So any moves being made? What has happened to Heppy? I didn't even see that. I'm so sorry. I was sorting something out really quick, and I've just missed what happened to Heppy. I'm really not sure what happened there to Heppy, but he has lost a lot of places, and he doesn't even have a wing anymore. So that is going to cost him severely in this race. I don't even think he's going to get points. But now Simple is looking to defend from Pova, who wants to get past, get those extra 2 points, I believe it is. So will Pova now be able to make a move into La Source? Doesn't look like he is maybe eyeing up the move for along the Camel Straight. That is a yellow sector 3. Who is that? I'm not too sure. I think it might be Jim Racing or Diego. Will Pova in the McLaren make a move on the Aston Martin driver now? Down the Camel Straight, the DRS is open. Simple does go defensive, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Pova's just going to brush past, and the Ferrari driver does not look to be close enough to be able to make any sort of impact on his position improving. But anyway, as I speak, the Red Bull or Potro is on the back of F1 Mason, and I'm sure he is eager to get past as the points difference goes up from 6 to 8 points, I believe it is, for one more position. So Potro is going to look to get past here as quickly as he can, because maybe he'll be able to push on and catch up that Ferrari, who's 3 seconds ahead, so he's going to have to catch up quite drastically, but you never know what pace he has. And Sandman still pulling away, maybe starting to look after those tyres a little bit more as the gap isn't increasing as much as it was, or maybe those tyres are starting to die out a little bit, but it does seem quite early on in the stint for them to start dying out. So has Sandman made the right choice to go onto the medium compound, soft compound tyres and not the medium compound tyres? Well, we'll find out in probably around 4 laps time, because Shea might be able to catch up and close that gap. But as I speak, Potro goes for a move into the bus stop chicane. It looks like a little bit of wing has come off somebody. I think that might have been F1 Mason. So I think F1 Mason has lost a bit of bodywork there, which has now moved Pova, Simple and the Ferrari of Moti up 1 place. So they'll say thank you very much, Potro, for helping us get that place. And even Bullet is now moved up into P10. So him swapping and going onto the medium compound tyre as well in P15 has helped him drastically, as he is now in the points and look to try and take a point home from today in Spa. But the Ferrari driver now on the Camel Straight, will he be able to make a move? No, he will not. So these three all staying very close together. But obviously Pova still defending just for now, and just in front of them you can see the Red Bull of Potro, but no other battles really forming. We do have one at the back between Heppy and Jim Racing, but we aren't too interested in that one. We're going to focus our attention for the battle for P7, who is currently held by Pova in the McLaren. So 6 more laps to go. Will he be able to hold on to it? Well, we'll find out nearer the race, end of the race. So it's looking good so far from him, doing good defense, but obviously Moti in the Ferrari is on the fresher tyres, so if he can just clear Simple, he's going to have a really good chance of pushing on to get past Pova. But obviously Simple does not want to let him pass, because if Moti does get past Pova, Simple's going to have a horrible time trying to get past Pova, because Pova will then have DRS. So it's all a battle of defense and attack and attack. But you can see there on the braking, Moti can brake a lot more later than oh, Pova comes into pits. Pova decides to pit. So I imagine he'll be getting onto the soft compound tyres for the last 5 laps of the race. He goes on to the intermediate tyres. Have we got rain on the way? Yes, we do. It started raining. So has this changed a lot of things? Pova's decided to gamble and put on the wet compound tyres. Is that why Sandman only put on soft tyres? Because he knew the rain was coming. So he knew that he's going to have to put on the intermediate tyres near the end of the race. So he's only gone for the soft compound tyres. We have a yellow sector 3. Drivers must be spinning off everywhere. But only a few drivers have decided to come into pit to put on the intermediates already. I mean, it's not too damp at the moment, but maybe 1 or 2 more laps and it's going to be chucking it down with rain. But has Pova made the right choice? You can see along the straight there, F1 Mason's got the massive speed advantage. So has he made the right choice of pitting? What does Sandman do? Coming along the Blanchimont straight now. Will he decide to pit and put on the intermediate tyres? Is the rain going to get worse? Does he know something that I did not know at the start? Well, the gap is now up to 8 seconds, so what is he going to do? We're about to find out. It does look like it might be getting a little bit worse. And Sandman does not go out. I mean, he has got an 8-second gap, so he can wait. He is in no rush to pit on intermediate tyres. He can wait for P2 to pit and then pit the lap after, depending on how damp it is. But Pova just looks to be losing time and more time. So has he put on the intermediate tyres too early? I think he might have done. But Bullet now up in the P9, so a very good job from him. Obviously in P15 at one point, but the driver of the day so far has got to go to Sandman, starting in P18, and he showed no sign of slowing down at all. Now 9 seconds between him and second. So what a race it has been from him. Obviously that safety car has helped him drastically with his pit stop, but even so, you got to hand it to him. What performance this has been. So it doesn't look like the rain is getting any worse. So we have to box for intermediate tyres. Maybe Pova has just made the wrong choice, as he doesn't even look like he can turn through the source. Locking up quite bad, so he is losing a lot of time. He's now even out of the points once all the drivers in front of him pits. No, he's not. That's my bad. He'll be in around P10. So he has lost a lot of time pitting this early. As you can see, a few drivers that are starting to struggle. Simple did not hit the apex there on turn 11 out of Bruxelles. But now going through, and you can see how slow Motti in the Ferrari is taking it. I mean, you don't want to risk P7 just to keep it, but you can see there, Simple much more braver on the brakes in this wet condition. So Motti just taking it a lot more slower. Maybe Simple has got a lot more grip in those hard compound tyres. But what is Sandman going to do? Is he going to stay out here? None of these drivers are coming into the pit. So we're going back on board with... Who do we watch? I imagine we will stay on board with... We'll stay on board with F1 Mason as he looks to get past Henk for that 1 point. So he goes along the... Is this the DRS straight? I believe it is, right? No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, it. No, it's not. The next bit. Sorry, that's my bad. So F1 Mason now looks to get past Henk in the Alfa Romeo, and just ahead of them is Bullet. So Bullet's just trying his best to hold on, as that's Diego now retired. Obviously, Bullet's going to be wanting to hold on, as there is now a safety car. So we're only going to be racing for around 1 lap. As you can see there, the Red Bull in the wall out of Bruxelles at turn 11. So what will Sandman now do now that there is a safety car? I mean, you might as well pit, right? You got a 15-second gap to P2, put on some fresh tyres. Doesn't really matter what tyres you put on. Well, it does. You don't want to put on wet tyres. This is very interesting now, as there is a safety car. And I believe Happy and Jim are not even going to have time to catch up, as all these drivers look to be putting on intermediate tyres. I want to see what Sandman is going to do for the final 3 laps of... Will he decide to pit? I imagine he will, as there is such a big gap between him and P2. Even if it's not for those intermediate tyres, but it does look to be getting a little bit wetter, so... As Jim Racing does... Happy, you can go, mate. I don't think Happy realizes he can go. Does he? Wait, is he being told to stay behind the safety car? But anyway, Sandman does pit, so going into pits now, what tyre is he going to put on? So maybe Happy was not allowed to pass the safety car, so Sandman does decide to put on the intermediate tyre, so obviously it is going to get worse. So he has got his strategy bang on in this race so far, as Shea and T-Ran go past him. So have they made the right choice of staying out, or has Sandman made the right choice of putting on those intermediate tyres? So far, Sandman has got his strategy bang on. I have to give it to him, starting in P18 all the way up in P3. But obviously there's only going to be a few laps of this race left, so is there going to even be enough time to overtake for Sandman? As you can see there, the Red Bull getting a wing change and getting a soft tyres put on, and Simple's going on for intermediate. So a mixed tyre choice here for many of the drivers, as some feel like it might get worse and they want the intermediate tyres. Some feel No, I'm going to stay out on the softs. But this is going to be a very interesting final few laps indeed, as I imagine the safety car will be coming in very soon. As Pova now comes in the pits, is this a sign that the intermediate tyres are not working? Is he putting on the soft tyres, maybe going for the fastest lap of the race? What tyres is he putting on? He's putting on new intermediate tyres, maybe. I don't think he's even going to have time to catch up to the safety car. I think the safety car is going to come in before he even has a chance. So I wonder what's going to happen here. It doesn't seem to be raining that heavily, so maybe the intermediate tyres aren't even going to be that big of a difference compared to these old medium tyres. So Sandman's either going to get past these two quite easily, or he is going to lose a few places. And so far he's put his strategy bang on, so you don't want to get it wrong now, but it does look to be getting wetter, so I'm really not sure how this is going to plan out. But we're going to have around 2 laps of racing, and I'm sure it's going to be very close racing indeed. And you can see there the safety car is in this lap, so Simple has managed to catch up to the safety car. I don't think Pova is going to have time, so we have 11 drivers for this safety car restart. We have so far lost 6 drivers due to DNF, a few of them through a Rouge, which is no surprise. I would lose it many times too through there. But anyway, we will wait for this safety car restart. Now, how good are those intermediate tyres going to be against these old mediums? We're going to find out very shortly, as the rain doesn't look to be too heavy, but it does look to be consistent, so the track is getting wetter. So going through the bus stop chicane now, when is Shea going to decide to put his foot down? And Sandman is eager to get past. You can see there a few drivers going off in the background. They can show that the dry compound tyres are not working, and Sandman is looking to get past. And you can see that both the dry compound tyres losing their grip, so Sandman is just going to breeze past Shea. Just got to be careful that you don't get collected in Shea going through a Rouge if he does lose it, as I'm sure Sandman's got a lot more grip as he's right on the back of Shea, and I'm sure he's going to breeze past along the Kemmel straight now, as those dry runners are looking to be struggling drastically. But on the straight, it doesn't look like the dry runners, the wet tyre runners are having that much of a difference, but it looks like Shea has given up the position, and that's now F1 Mason out of this race. So you can see there how much these dry runners are struggling. You can see his car smashed to bits in the background there, and Henk, you don't want to be hitting that. But now Bullet now up into P7, Monty into P6. And we see Potro now going around the outside of T-Ran, now moving into the podium position. They are sliding everywhere. It's like an ice skating ring. Sandman is flying ahead. He's got nothing to worry about being on those intermediate tyres. Potro might be now looking to get past Shea, as those soft tyres are going to have more grip than those old mediums, as they are brand new softs. So Potro might be looking at a P2 here. But Sandman looks to be winning this comfortably. I must say, he's got his strategy bang on all race, and he deserves the win from P18 as well. He just take a bow. That is a huge performance. But as I speak, Potro now is looking to get past Shea, and I think he's going to make the move work along the Blanchimont straight. So he's only 5 tenths behind Shea right now, so he might not be able to make the move yet, but I'm sure he's going to be able to make the move. Going along the Kemmel straight, there is no point pitting now, as this is the final lap of the race they are heading into. Just got to be careful along the braking zone, and that's another driver out. That's T-Brown in the Alpine. It was going so well for him. He was sat in P3 most of the race, and now he is out of the race. You can see that Bullet now passing him, and that's another car out. It looks like Shea has lost it somewhere. I'm not sure where. It must have been on the bus stop chicane. I missed that. But now Potro has moved up into P2. The Alpine driver is still slowly tugging along in P3. Simple has moved up into P4. Support recovery from him. Obviously having to pit early to put on the hard tyres. And Morty as well. Just tagging along nicely. Not doing anything stupid. Getting that P5 result. So far it looks like just got to bring that home now. And Pova also moving up into P8 it looks like. So those intermediate tyres absolutely flying compared to these Shirai tyres. As you can see there, Sandman is now 10 seconds ahead. And that is the Alpine driver in the grass. And that is now Simple up into P3, so that's an even better result for him. Bullet has moved up into P5. He was P15 a few laps ago. So what a performance it is from him. And that's another driver going wide. Looks like the Alfa Romeo. Pova looks like he's going to get past the Alfa Romeo. He has done so because Bullet has gone wide. Morty's now going to try and defend from Pova. Pova's looking like a mad recovery right now on this final lap. He is gaining so many places. There's a yellow sector 2. Drivers are off everywhere. These dry tyres are not working in this condition, and I'm not surprised. So Pova's now going to look to get past Morty. Morty doesn't even bother defending. I mean, playing it safe, right? You're just coming home to take that P5. That's a good result right there. Pova's going to be so happy at the P4 spot, as he was so far behind along that safety car, and he is caught drastically. Simple, what performance from him. He has recovered back into P3. Potro, a very, very solid performance from him as well. But he has got a 3-second time penalty, so is Simple going to be able to sneak in here and gain P2? But the driver of the day has to go to Sandman. What a performance it's been from him to take P1, as he took it with ease, and Potter there looks to take out Simple just as a little wind up. But a really good result from Simple as well, a really good recovery. I know he started in P5, but he worked his way back up the field after an early incident to take P2, but Sandman, amazing result. Simple, an even better result. No, actually not an even better result, but a really good recovery. Potro, also starting in P13, managed to get on the podium to take P3. That's a solid result for him. Pova, also an amazing recovery drive, moving up back into P4 as he was struggling during the later middle of the race. Morty taking P5, he'll be very happy with that, as he has just played it safe the whole race, and he has been rewarded it by consistency. And obviously P6 goes towards Bullet, who, I have to give it to him, he done very good to be in P15 at one point to then take P6. And I do not know who got next. I'll get that up for you now. So there you go. The Alpine driver got P7, and obviously Shea, he was in P2 at one point, but he did lose it, and he has ended up in P8. Hank in P9. T-Bran in P10. He also had a little off, and F1 Mason DNF, I believe it was. Nash was also a DNF. Heppy was a DNF. And Jim Racing was a DNF, and a few others were a DNF. So there's your result. That was a very interesting race. Sandman won that with ease, and that was purely down to skill and strategy. So good job to Sandman. A really good job to Simple. A really good job to Potro, who take the podium spot. And that was a very interesting race and a very exciting race. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week for round 11, which I believe is at Netherlands. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.